You cannot take away the credit of Ghana and the Highlife music in influencing and pioneering and creating many musical genres around the world. Ghana Highlife music started in the late 1880s when chordophones, membranophones, and aerophones were used to complement each other in producing classical forms of music known as brass band today. So in the early 1900s, the chordophone rendition, redevelopment, and reintroduction was made by Kwame Asari. In the 1920s, when he developed the guitar style by using the chordophone to complement the membranophone in London and recorded the first ever African music, classified as Afro music and Afrobeat because of the varied rhythms and beats recorded in London, which was very, very, very unique to classical and Caribbean form of music. This style of highlife music evolved and grew across West Africa, Eastern Africa, and Southern Africa, which led to many development of African music genres such as Makossa, Sukus, Benga music, Afrofusion, hip life, Afrobeat, Apala, Juju music, and many Eastern African music. So during the colonial era, another form of Afrobeat was generated by Ghana from Highlife, which is known as the Kpan logo. The Kpan logo means hooting against the slave masters. So they were drumming Kpan, Ajikpan, drumming in order to hoot against the slave masters. And that also were also fused into the Highlife rhythm played by Kwame Asari, which led to the Afrobeat and enriched the Highlife so much better today. Our life was very, very rich and authentic that Europeans and Americans needed to make further development on the music genre, which led to the introduction of jazz, funk, soul, and blues. After the introduction of jazz, funk, soul, and blues in the late 1950s, and this led to a new wave of development known as fusing our life with other genres of music across the world and globe. Musicians like Luther Vandross, Steve Wonder, and others from the Caribbean all moved to Africa to fuse jazz, funk, soul, and blues with our life music. And as a result of that, the Caribbean musicians gave birth to what is known today as reggae music. All these musicians were welcomed into the fusion classes by a great Ghanaian highlife musician known as E.T. Mensah during the early 1960s. So other young artists like Matonto and Ted Yourself follow suit by fusing the highlife into other genres, and they also discovered what we know as electric music today, disco. They also did the Afro funk, they did the Afro beats. They discovered so many in DJing. Today you hear DJing. It was Osibisa who also created those genres that we are enjoying today. And other musicians like Ebotela was also alongside, fusing more in the jazzy and the funky way that deepened the Afrobeat by getting attracted to Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti also came from Nigeria to come and study under Ebotela, and that led to the redevelopment of the genre, which is Afrobeat, already done by Kwame Asari. Concurrently, Ghanaian highlife musicians back home were also doing the redevelopment of the highlife music. And that led to what we have as Burger highlife. Those who went outside the diaspora, they did the fusion, which they named Burger highlife, Afro highlife. And then back home, others were also doing another redevelopment that led to the birth of rap music and hip hop. All started in the late 50s, in the early 60s by Ambule. So Ambule was the one who developed, originated, pioneer rap music through our life. And that is why today you see a lot of Ghanaians doing rap music. It is something that was already here. That's why Ebotela said what you see Ghanaians doing was already with us, and it went and it has come back. So they were doing it. That's why you see reggae dancehall here. You see rap music, azonto. It was something our fathers did before the young ones came to follow. So Akwesiata and all those guys you are seeing were walk in the shoes of Ambule. Thank you very much.